Hey guys, and welcome to Dan Reviews It. It has been a long time, I know. A lot of things have been going on, and one of them was I really just had not been getting out to see all of the brand new movies right when they came out. So it seemed a little silly to do a movie review, weeks and weeks after the fact. So I'm going to actually post another video shortly, just sort of reintroducing the channel here and kind of, giving you guys the scoop on what's coming next for the channel. But with the Oscars on Sunday, I thought, you know what, let's get back into it with my annual look at the Oscars and who I think will win and should win the major awards, and also some of the snubs. As you can see behind me, this is part of my movie collection. I've got a change of venue here for the channel now, which I think is nice. The curtains were cool, but if we're going to be talking movies and TV and stuff, I think we want to be where the action is here in my collection. So, well, let's get to it. So, the Oscars are coming up on Sunday. I have now seen all of the movies that are nominated for the major awards. That's going to be your Best Picture, of course, Director, all four of the acting awards, and as well the two screenplays. I tried to watch all the animated ones as well. I could not find The Breadwinner anywhere, so I missed that one, but I have seen the other four. But we won't, since I haven't seen The Breadwinner, we won't really talk about that. But, so, let's, I guess, start with the snubs. So, the Best Picture has 9 nominees yet again. They say it can go from anywhere from 5 to 10, but almost every year since they instated that rule, I don't know, like 10 or 12 years ago, it's been almost exactly 9 every single time. So this time you've got Call Me By Your Name, The Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. So here, I think, I'm not going to do the like top 5 snubs that we've done before when I was on Film Fanatics. I'm just going to kind of go over each of these as we go through. So here's the thing. Phantom Thread is a boring movie. I don't know that it should have been nominated for much of anything. I get that Daniel Day-Lewis is a great actor. He's great in The Picture, of course, but it is so boring. So I would say you could kick that out just to boot. There's other movies that I think maybe don't deserve Best Picture either. Call Me By Your Name I thought was a little bit boring as well. And Dunkirk I knew was going to be nominated for Best Picture. I didn't really like it all that much. I gave it a B. Clearly Christopher Nolan is a great director in this film. He deserves his Best Director nomination. I don't think it deserves Best Picture, but knowing how the Academy works, I think, that was kind of inevitable. But in terms of what they snubbed for Best Picture, well, first of all, since they do have that 10th slot, you could have given that to many different films. And I'm not going to go crazy here and start naming things that never had a chance to be nominated. Like, I loved Beauty and the Beast. That was never going to be nominated, let's be real. Spider-Man Homecoming, great movie. Wonder Woman, I guess, had a possibility to be nominated, and that would have been awesome. But again, it's the Academy, like, you got to kind of go with what maybe they would have done. So I think Molly's Game is probably the strongest movie that they didn't nominate for Best Picture that they could have. Personally, I loved Baby Driver, and that did get nominated for something. One of the effects awards or something like that. Film editing, that's what it was. So that got nominated for film editing. Okay, that, makes sense. But, obviously that didn't have a chance at Best Picture. But Molly's Game would have been cool to see. The Big Sick would have been cool to see. That got nominated for a Screenplay Award, as did Molly's Game. All the Money in the World was a very good movie and very Oscar-friendly, so they could have nominated that as well. Wonder Woman would have been an awesome surprise, but I don't think that was ever going to happen. So I guess as I'm going through these, I'll do the who I think will win and should win. I think 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri probably will win. I think it's between that and Lady Bird, with maybe an outside Dunkirk chance. I think Lady Bird was also an excellent movie, but I've only given 3 A pluses this whole year. Baby Driver was 1, so kind of kick that out immediately because it never had a chance at Best Picture. But 3 Billboards is 1, and The Shape of Water is the other. So for me, who should win? It's between those two. I think I'd be happy with either. I don't think Shape of Water is going to win. So let's say should win and will win goes to 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. All right, so director is next. You got Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk, Jordan Peele for Get Out. That was a great surprise. Greta Gerwig for Lady Bird, Paul Thomas Anderson for Phantom Thread, and Guillermo del Toro for The Shape of Water. Again, Phantom Thread, boring. I don't really like any of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies except Magnolia. The one he did a few years ago, The Master, I thought was also very boring. I just, I don't get it. It's too artsy-fartsy for me, maybe. I don't know. But, I don't know. The Shape of Water seems pretty artsy-fartsy, and I love that. So, maybe he's just boring. So I would kick him out, and I would put either Martin McDonagh in for 3 Billboards. And it would be odd if 3 Billboards won Best Picture without a Best Director nomination. That is rare. That does not happen very often. So, but you never know. So I would stick him in there. And the other one I would stick in there is probably Ridley Scott for All the Money in the World, just knowing what he had to go through with all the reshoots and how great that picture was with such a time constraint on it. If you haven't really read up on it, Kevin Spacey was in the role that Christopher Plummer ended up playing of J. Paul Getty, and after the sexual assault allegations and stuff against Spacey happened, they kicked him off the picture and reshot half the movie basically with Christopher Plummer. So just in that feat alone, and how great the movie turned out, I think he could deserve a nomination. I think Guillermo del Toro should win and will win for this award. Again, possible Christopher Nolan with Dunkirk for the upset, but I think Del Toro, just knocked it out of the park with Shape of Water. So up next is actress in a leading role. You've got Sally Hawkins for Shape of Water, Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards, Margot Robbie for I, Tonya, another great movie, Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, and Meryl Streep for The Post. The first 4 of these absolutely deserve it. Get them in there. Meryl Streep in The Post. Now listen, I liked The Post. I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was a great movie. Actually, I think I gave it an A. Steven Spielberg did a great job with it, directing-wise. But the acting, it's just, it's fine. It's good. It's Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks. It's just, is it, do we just have to give Meryl Streep a nomination every year? I would say no. I think in the 3 or 4 years we were doing Film Fanatics, I think I kicked her out every year of her category except for one. But, come on, Into the Woods? Was she nominated for Into the Woods for supporting? It wasn't necessary. I love Meryl Streep. I do. She's a great actress. But there were certainly better performances than hers in The Post. I would give it to Jessica Chastain in Molly's Game. This was a very overlooked movie for me. I'm glad it got a screenplay nomination, but I don't think that she is getting her due, or that this film is. So I would have nominated her for that. Who will win? Probably Frances McDormand for 3 Billboards. I think there's an outside Greta Gerwig chance, or not Greta Gerwig, but Greta Gerwig's movie. Saoirse Ronan. I think there's an outside chance of her. Maybe Sally Hawkins. I love Frances McDormand in 3 Billboards. And I think she will win, but I would give it to Sally Hawkins, actually, who I don't normally like. She's okay. I think she's fun in the Paddington movies, but for her dramatic roles, I don't love her all the time, but, she plays a mute in this film, and to convey so much without ever being able to speak, I think was just an achievement. So I would give it to her, but if McDormand gets it, that's, great too. Actor in a leading role, you've got Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name, Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread, Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out, Gary Oldman, Darkest Hour, and Denzel for Roman J. Israel, Esquire. Now, for who should and will win, it's a slam dunk. Darkest Hour, Gary Oldman. The movie itself wasn't amazing. It was good, but he is just incredible. I mean, it's one of the best performances, especially by a known actor, to just completely become somebody else. And that is not all makeup, you know. Yeah, he looks like him, but I mean, you don't know that it's Gary Oldman you're watching. It was an amazing performance, certainly award worthy. I think he will win, and I think he should. However, who is in this category that doesn't belong? For me, there's two actually: Daniel Day-Lewis and Denzel. I think these are kind of like classic Academy token nominations, you know, like Denzel is so great, let's just nominate him. It's the same with Meryl Streep, you know, it's like, oh, we like Meryl, let's nominate her. And Daniel Day-Lewis, especially because he's saying this is going to be his last film, gotta nominate Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh my gosh, you know, they were both good performances. I can't say that they weren't. Denzel's performance is one of the only really riveting things in Roman J. Israel. Wasn't that good of a movie. And Phantom Thread, again, just boring. Daniel Day-Lewis is an amazing actor, obviously. You know, the guy has won 3 Best Acting Oscars, which is more than any male has ever done. You know, Meryl on the female side, of course. But I could kick both of them out, honestly. And who do I put in? Well, James Franco for The Disaster Artist for one. And here again, a movie that did get nominated for screenplay, but nothing else. I thought he became Tommy Wiseau. The movie itself is great. I mean, I could have nominated that for Best Picture too over some of these that were nominated. But his performance is just outstanding. It's so good, you know. And he's not a person that the Academy, you know, is unfamiliar with. You know, previously nominated for 127 Hours. So I'd put him in there. If we're taking 2 out, I have, you know, 2 other suggestions you could go either or with. And again, both movies that were nominated for a screenplay award this year, and that is Hugh Jackman in Logan. That was never going to happen, but come on. I mean, this was an amazing performance for a character that we have known for, you know, almost 2 decades now, right? Or more than 2 decades, I guess. You know, he really created something completely different with this role. I guess maybe not quite 2 decades, but anyway, early 2000s with the first X-Men movie. You know, he gave us something brand new with this movie, and I'm glad it was nominated for a screenplay because it should have been. It's just a powerhouse performance from him. And then the other one that I think maybe had an outside chance was Kumail Nanjiani for The Big Sick. I know comedies are often overlooked at the Oscars and usually relegated to either a supporting acting award or a screenplay, and here, you know, The Big Sick did get a screenplay nomination. But certainly the best romantic comedy of the year, I guess unless you count Lady Bird as a rom-com, which you could, I suppose. But it just, I mean, he's funny in it, and it's kind of his autobiography a little bit, so it's like, is he playing himself? Yeah, sort of, but you know, I thought he did a great job in it and was very funny. So I would give it to any of those 3 people instead of the 2 I mentioned. So next we've got the supporting. These ones are pretty easy because there isn't a whole lot to kick out here. So you do actress in a supporting role. You have Mary J. Blige for Mudbound, Allison Janney for I, Tonya, Leslie Manville for Phantom Thread, Laurie Metcalf for Lady Bird, and Octavia Spencer for The Shape of Water. Here, I think it's going to be either Allison Janney or Laurie Metcalf. What's so cool about these women is that they're both TV actresses, obviously. You know, Allison Janney had The West Wing for years and now is on Mom, and Laurie Metcalf, of course, you know, made her stamp in 9 years of Roseanne. So I think it's great that both these ladies are getting nominated. I think it's going to be between the 2 of them. I think probably Allison Janney will win, just because she has more history with film. The Academy seems to like that. But truth be told, I think she should win as well. Her performance as Tonya Harding's mother is fantastic. So no arguments there. You know, I don't really mind anybody that's nominated in this category. However, you know, I'm sort of anti-everything Phantom Thread. Leslie Manville wasn't that amazing in it. You know, she was okay. But really, I don't have a great suggestion to replace her with. The only thing I kind of thought of was I thought Julia Roberts did a great job in Wonder. Obviously, she's no stranger to the Academy. They could have maybe given her a nod. I thought Wonder was a great movie. And it did get nominated for Best Makeup, which makes sense. But yeah, they could have floated it to her. So then you've got actor in a supporting role, Willem Dafoe in The Florida Project. Great movie. Woody Harrelson and Sam Rockwell both for 3 Billboards. Richard Jenkins for The Shape of Water. And Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World. Honestly, I don't have one gripe with this list. These are probably the best 5 supporting roles of the year. I think Sam Rockwell will win, and I think he deserves to. I think him or Christopher Plummer, those were probably the 2 best supportings of the year for me. Richard Jenkins is great in Shape of Water, but the role didn't really call for as much as some of these other ones did. So, yeah, I mean, I know there's been a few complaints about Sam Rockwell's character, and it's basically just kind of a rehash of certain other, racist cops that we've seen. Crash has been bandied about in that vein. It's not wrong, but look, Sam Rockwell is a great actor. He gives a great performance here, and it would be nice to see him get recognized. Obviously, a lot of other award shows agreed with that. So finally, if you got the screenplays, for Best Original Screenplay, The Big Sick, Get Out, Lady Bird, Shape of Water, 3 Billboards. I mean, there's no complaints here. These are all amazing scripted movies. I don't even know. I assume probably one of the ones nominated for Best Picture is going to win, but I could see it going to Get Out just to sort of give Get Out something, because it was an amazing movie. I was thrilled with how many nominations that thing got, to be completely honest. Surprised and thrilled. And maybe it's part of the whole Oscar so white backlash. They were like, well, let's, what's the best, black movie we can get in there? How about Get Out? Okay, if that's the case, that kind of sucks for reasoning, but it deserves every one of these nominations. So, it's not like I can really complain about it. So it would be cool if Get Out won. Sometimes they'll do that. They'll float a, screenplay award to something that doesn't really have a shot at Best Picture but was nominated. So I could see it going to Get Out. My guess is it'll probably go to 3 Billboards or Lady Bird. And who should win? Yeah, probably Get Out, I would say. And finally, you've got Adapted Screenplay, Call Me By Your Name, which is the only thing nominated for really any other major award, because then you've got Disaster Artist, Logan, Molly's Game, and Mudbound. I think Molly's Game should win. And I think it probably will, because you've got the stamp on it, already, the pedigree of Aaron Sorkin. I don't honestly remember if he is the one that adapted the screenplay or not. I know he directed it. It was his, directing debut. But if he didn't write it himself, I'm sure he had a hand in it. He's Aaron Sorkin. So I would give it to that. Who will win? Like I said, yeah, I think Molly's Game probably will win from all of that. It'd be nice to see The Big Sick win something, but I don't see that happening. So that's it. Those are my predictions. Those are my snubs. Hopefully you've enjoyed this show, and we'll all enjoy the Oscars on Sunday with Jimmy Kimmel, the 90th annual. Hopefully they'll pull out some fun stops for that. Hopefully you guys love the new decor for the show. And yeah, that's going to do it. Like I said, look in a couple of days. I'm going to post another video just kind of reintroducing the channel, so to speak, and sort of telling you what the focus is going to be from here on out. So for now, that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.